Well, yesterday, we welcomed two teams into the group stage, Cloud9 and Fnatic. We're going to see who joins them in our matches today. Things are going to kick off with 1907 Fenerbahce versus Team 1, followed by Team WE from the LPL, taking on Young Generation from the GPL. Now, before we get into those matches, let's pull up our Worlds groups to see what Cloud9 and Fnatic may be playing.
You've got to shift and pivot your playstyle, and I think that he's done a fine job for now, but while his early gank failed, Forlan's looking to find some success in the top lane.
Entry Fragger looking for his first kill as Vert there as well, the flash away, but Thorgren's going to get stunned, and this will be first blood for Team 1 in the top lane. Down to half as Vert puts down the Spirit's Refuge. Fenerbahce able to fight this one out as Crash came to the rescue for his top lane. And meanwhile in the bottom lane, a root lands onto Absolute, and he has to use the heal and the barrier, the ignite ticking. Padden with the final shot gets the spear in the back, and now Redbird's trying to turn it around. He does get the help picks and will trade 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
They know how to play the 1-3-1, the 4-1 style of play, and looks like Fenerbahce are trying to shut that down.
Thorgren's going to go in, the knockback onto Vert as well. No flash for him and no way of escaping Crash and Thorgren, who will be able to secure the kill. 2-2. Fenerbahce and 1 are even in the early game.
So many 1907 Fenerbahce in the bottom side of 1's jungle. Team 1, they have no idea where he is. It looks like he's trying to steal away this blue buff.
Misses the body slam, the knockback will come out. There is the unleashed power straight onto the base of Crash, and he will get removed from the map by Team 1. The strength that we said Team 1 have. They capitalize on their enemies' mistakes. When they see someone out of position, they make the play, and now they're making the play for the Inferno. They secure it, but Padden is not done. The TPs are going to join this fight as they look for the root. Thorgren goes in onto Redbird. He's used the wild growth, but he will be the first to fall. Team 1 just looking to run away. They're accepting a kill and a blue buff in exchange for the Inferno.
2 versus 2, so Padden off to a great start. Likely going to transition this well, but it now matters about how well they can deal with the split-pushing Shen being played by Vert, because this is the style that Vert likes to use, as it looks like Fenerbahce trying to set up a bit of a dive in the middle lane.
And this is what Thorgren likes to do. He's the pillar of the team, and he likes to get these ganks off. Flash straight into Crash. Bruce a knockback. The seismic shove will spell his end. Fenerbahce get the kill. Now Forlan's going to try and protect his tower a little bit as he forces Thorgren back. The Sat Magic healing up, and Fenerbahce will be able to get the kill in the dive.
First, we're going to focus in on our first matchup of the day. It's going to be pitting 1907 Fenerbahce versus Team 1 Esports. And for anyone that's followed the qualifiers leading to Worlds, Turkey and Brazil, no stranger to facing one another on a big stage.
Yeah, they've played against each other since 2014, I believe. These guys have had a history ripe with matches against one another. Now, it was a 3-1 in matches, we thought, but it's actually 6-7 as far as games go against one another. It's very close, very back and forth. As of late, you would have said the Brazilian side has took over. All of 2016, they were beating the Turkish teams, but 2017 belonged to Supermassive, and we'll have to see if that continues here.
Right, Padden and Japone being rotated up towards the top side to try and shut down Vert in this split push. In fact, they're going in with the Fate's Call into the Soul Shackles. Vert flashes away, respect, but gets caught in the binding, puts down the Spirit's Refuge. Padden will still get the stacks from this, though, as he looks to dive. The Shen underneath the tower. And 13 minutes in, Padden is already 3-1.
Now they're looking to lose this tier 1. Fortunately, Team 1 will get there just in time to defend it. But this bottom lane of 1907 Fenerbahce are really stepping up in this first game.
It's exactly what we wanted to see from them, and Frozen is looking up towards the top side for a little bit more. Stand United is available for Vert as he comes up, not even going to channel it yet, as 1 are going to get dived underneath this tower. There we go. Absolute pops the barrier. Wildcard used as well. The dive continues. Fenerbahce trying to get what they can out of this fight. They take the tower first. The stun is going to land onto Absolute. Forlan dead. It's a double for Frozen, and 1 are just getting scattered to the winds. A great binding from Japone. 3 kills down. Redbird running away, but I'm not sure he's going to escape today as Fenerbahce collapse from all 4 sides. And they play the early game well. They don't even need to get to the late game. They don't even need to get to team fights, because Fenerbahce are routing Team 1.
Beautiful dive once again. Thorgren looking to round out the fight with another kill onto Redbird. Everything going fantastically for the Turkish representatives. This is fantastic.
One place to look at is potentially bot lane. Padden statistically gets destroyed in the early game before turning into a totally different player and dropping tons of CSD. You see it right there, negative 21.8
but somehow his DPM is still very high. So he's a guy who, once he gets out of the laning phase, is when he starts to shine.
Yeah, Padden in team fighting, all of Fenerbahce in team fighting is immaculate, honestly, and it's a surprise that they could do it so well when their laning phase is usually so poor. And that's the one place that you look at, the silver lining for Team 1, if they want to get that split pushing that you mentioned into effect.
In terms of their early game, we wondered how they would use the early advantages built both up in the bottom lane and in the mid lane thanks to the roams from Thordrin, and you can see the difference that Padden has made compared to his average throughout the tournament. And unfortunately for them, Fenerbahce is now in an extremely dominant position. They're going to utilize this Rift Herald to better break into the set of tier 2 towers. And now what I want to see from them is the movement of their vision line up towards the top half.
Push forward into the jungle of Team 1.
You have to question the decision-making here from Team 1, though. Why is the AD carry and support in the bottom lane when you have a Shen? They try to interrupt Crash and his spawning, but the Black Shield prevents the interrupt. They're able to get the Rift Herald out. He's still going to be at full health, too. Fenerbahce, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal. Unfortunately, Fenerbahce didn't have the minion wave to then commit to that objective once they were zoned off. Now they have a siege minion and plenty of damage down onto this tower. Vision deep into the enemy half of the jungle to look for flanks like this one.
Thordrin with the TP. I don't think Absolute has realized this has happened yet. As a shield comes out, Redbird there as well. Forland looking for the flank. They'll knock Thordrin back, but already Absolute's taking the chunk. Redbird there as well. Here come the rest of Fenerbahce. Bruce off towards the side, trying to knock them back. The seismic shove does not connect, and Fenerbahce are just going to continue to roll this forward. However, they are flanked. They get some damage onto Bert, who flashes away. The explosive cast helps them secure the kill, and now the Featherstorm has to come out from Absolute. He flashes. Bruce is still off towards the side. Great. Glacial Prism onto Frozen, but he will cleanse that away.
Fenerbahce, they don't want to commit to the Baron, though. They're still eyeing up those picks.
Not quite a Weaver's Wall that locks in Team 1. Forland's going to jump across the wall and bring Thordrin with him, and now he's caught in the wrong place as Redbird comes across to try and help his jungler. If they can take down Forland, Fenerbahce can look for that Baron, but they're going for Redbird instead. Absolute pulled off towards the side as Thordrin.
With the Kalista, with the Gragas, they have everything they could need to shut down that objective.
Triple item finished on towards Padden. You've got triple item as well on your mid laner as he puts down the Weaver's Wall to try and shut Team 1 away, and this is exactly what you want to see when you're trying to take an inhibitor, put the wall down and it opens up so much ground for you.
Love the ultimate there from Frozen. Zones the entire lineup of Team 1 away from the objective. That will be the first inhibitor of the game going in favor of Fenerbahce. They also have the double mountain to add insult to injury. Now they've got their eyes on the rest of the map, but the Baron's going to be wearing off, so likelihood is they will back away.
Once again, 1907 Fenerbahce just closing in on the win. Padden takes a Scatter the Weak to the base. Here comes the explosive cask as well to stand united onto Team 1. But Fenerbahce, 1907 are able to survive for the time being. The inhibitor's still alive here for Team 1. If they can get the engage they want, perhaps they can start to come back into this game. It seems like a monumental task, a mammoth task for them. But Team 1 have come from behind many a time before. Bert locked out towards the side. The inhibitor is being pressured by Padden and Japone. A good finding is going to connect, and now we'll see Thordrin stepping up to the front. Already, Redbird is just dead, and Fenerbahce are going to push forward further and further. This will be their second inhibitor. They can just go mid, or perhaps they'll even look to push in this next wave.
Keep your eyes on the bottom lane too. There's a big minion wave stacking up. There's a flash from Thordrin.
And the seismic shove just deleted and demolished. Team 1 lose a man, and now Fenerbahce are going to look for the push. Bert jumps in, but there's just no damage at all from Team 1. 1907 Fenerbahce are looking to clean this up. It will be a clean ace for them as they take down Absolute. They're going for the Nexus Towers, and they're going to be 1-0 up against Team 1.
Very convincing game from 1907 Fenerbahce Esports. 18-4 is the kill score with a 15,000 gold lead to round things out.
And if you're a Turkish fan, this is exactly what you want to see. Fenerbahce clean in the early game, clean in the mid game, and clean as they take down the Nexus to go 1-0 ahead.